X, Y and Z are partners with capitals of 3 lakh, 2 lakh and 1 lakh respectively. Interest on capital was allowed at 6% per annum instead of 9%. The partners agreed to pass an adjusting entry for the same. Now students, in this case, the error is that interest was to be allowed at 9%, but the accountant made a mistake and allowed it at 6%. That means he has allowed interest at a rate which is less than the allowed rate by 3%. So the error is of 3% only. So what we will do is interest payable, and this is 3% only because 6% you have already provided. You were supposed to provide it at 9%. So that means the error relates to 3% deficient interest on capital. So what was to be paid, that is 3% only. 3% of 3 lakh is 9,000. Then 3% of 2 lakh is 6,000 and 3% of 1 lakh is 3,000. That means this much amount of interest has not been allowed. Since this amount of interest has not been allowed, let us total it out and find how much total profit has been divided in excess. So the total comes to 18,000. It clearly means that the profits have been divided in excess to the extent of 18,000. Now students, there is no profit sharing ratio mentioned here, and we know that as per Partnership Act, in case profit sharing ratio is not there or is not clearly ascertainable, then the profits would have to be divided in equal ratio. So that means this 18,000 has been provided or paid in equal ratio. That is 6,000 to X, 6,000 to Y and 6,000 to Z. Now let us compare these two columns. X was to be paid an interest of 9,000 but has already been paid 6,000. That means 3,000 is still payable. There is deficiency on account of X. Y, 6,000 was payable, he has already got 6,000. There is no error in the accounts of Y. For Z, he was to be paid 3,000 but he has been paid 6,000. That means 3,000 in excess that would be recovered from him. So now students, we have already paid X 6,000, which means still 3,000 is payable to him, and this 3,000 would be recoverable or would be recovered from Z. So the adjusting entry should be recovered from Z and paid to X. So let us pass the journal entry. Again remember, proper format has to be drawn. Date, now students, the entry would be recovered from Z, so Z's capital account debited to X's capital account, that is being adjustment entry for wrong interest on capital, and the amount was 3,000. Now students, let us consider another point of view for this question, or let us alter this question a bit. That is, let's say had it been allowed at 9% instead of 6%. So in that case, the scenario would be entirely different. That is, the column for interest paid or payable would have been interest paid, and the paid column would become payable. and the effect of this entry would be reversed, that is X capital to Z's capital. Remember, if excess amount would have been paid, right? But in this question, it was 6% and 9% originally. So I hope you can do that question yourself, that is replace 6% by 9% and then try and do this one.